Hey, what's up guys? Kane here with XBLA Fans, and I'm going to be giving you a quick taste of Death Road to Canada. So Death Road to Canada will launch on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Nintendo Switch on April 25th from Rocket Cat Games and Mad Garden. Now, what it is kind of interesting, to be honest. It very much feels like a zombie version of the Oregon Trail that does not take itself remotely seriously. So it's a giant zombie-filled road trip. You're basically going to be on a mission to Canada. So you're in this like world that can be filled with up to like 500 zombies at a time. It's pretty brutal. You're going to need to be able to get all the things you need to survive, whether it's food, weapons, ammo, gasoline, meds. You're going to, travel through a bunch of different locations. Along the way, there's going to be hilarious prompts that do come up. You'll meet tons of different characters along the way. There's in fact a couple different settings you can even pick. So like you can create your own characters if you'd like, and that's one of the more fun aspects, and I'll get into that in a couple seconds. But like when you do create those characters, you can set it to where you want to see those characters more often as your, quote unquote companions. Or you can set it to even where you want to see some wacky companions that are a little more rare. Or you can just leave it standard. And things will change up a little bit depending on who ends up being your group. So along the way, you can play this either, local, one person, or with two people. And you'll be able to control up to 4 different people at any given time when you're doing this. So you'll have 4 units theoretically at any given time that you're able to just kind of explore. You'll go in, you'll loot. A lot of times you're going to get swarmed by zombies. During these, you kind of just got to figure out how to survive. A lot of the time, your best option is actually to try to run away, not to just stand still and fight. Some of the things I really liked about this game, though, so far, is just the fact that the character personalities actually get kind of funny, especially when you do name them, because it's just hilarious when a moment just happens to pop up, and you're like, oh my god, that's so fantastic. Like, for example, I had to pick, 2 characters to do a kind of road trip to Canada. So I figured what better than the greatest dynamic duo, Ninja and Drake. So all of a sudden it's like, who should chop some wood? And I'm like, well, that's clearly Ninja. It's just like, it's kind of funny when you have like stuff like that happen. So obviously I've made a couple different groups. You'll see them in this video. And I have an XBLA staff page. I have a Microsoft staff page. I did a couple random celebrities like Drake and Ninja. I mean, I have, a bunch of Xbox MVPs. I did the Canadians, of course, because Death Road to Canada. So, there's just some cool stuff you can do. The customization options are actually pretty decent. When you pick a character, you'll be able to make them. You'll be able to change how they look. For me, I had a hard time telling some of the colors on the outfits and stuff, but that's probably because I'm colorblind. Obviously it's a little bit like pixely, just from the art style. It's not like you're going to be able to make something, super ridiculous, but you could do some cool things. So I had a lot of fun with that. When you make a character, you obviously get to choose their traits and whatnot. These will affect the gameplay a little bit. Also makes them stronger in some areas and weaker in some areas. You'll actually notice the impact these have when you have someone with, like, say, perception, or someone who's like, a surgeon or whatnot. Or a mechanic. A mechanic actually came up to play a ton when I was playing. That one was super, super useful. So, like, various skills will be, really, really useful along the way. And often you're basically going to be traveling and you're going to have these options. It's going to be like, well, what do you want to do? Do you want to, go to this building, go to that building, keep going? It's very Oregon Trail along those lines. You're going to make these decisions that really impact the game, and you got to, kind of balance things out and try to make sure you can keep all your different characters alive as long as possible. One cool thing is if you do lose your quote-unquote leader, which you can change at any time, by the way. So, if you decide you don't want this guy to be the leader anymore and you'd rather have the other one, be the leader, you can do that. It just changes to a different character anyway. So, in fact, your original group can completely die, but if you've picked up someone new along the way, they'll just take over. So that's kind of cool, the fact that you don't have to worry about trying to keep a specific character alive. Because people will die, I'm just going to throw that out there. This is one of those games that's... You can't get too attached to any single thing, because it's just not going to happen. You know, periodically your weapons will even break. You know, there are some cool variety in the weapons. You'll see just like, you know, basic, random, typical things all the way up to just like flaming great swords. And one of the things I thought was super cool is the fact that there are those special and rare events that are often triggered by, you know, special weapons or special characters. So for example, on this playthrough, I actually ran into Lunk. I think that's what it was. You know, the version of Link. You know, he keeps finding and upgrading swords constantly. So that was kind of cool that, you know, you can just kind of see how he changes things. In another playthrough, I found a murderous clown. And, you know, that went a completely different direction where he was not exactly my favorite person by the end of that run. So, you know, like, different things will happen. To be honest, you can even get a dog who will learn how to drive a car. So you can get some crazy stuff going on. You can pick up, you know, like sofas and other random objects inside the buildings. That makes it actually pretty easy to, you know, kind of beat stuff down if you don't want to have to use the weapons and whatnot. Obviously, ammo is going to be a little scarce. This isn't one of those games where you're going to run around and just shoot everyone. You do that, you're going to run out of bullets really, really dang fast. So, like, I had a lot of fun with this game. I've been really enjoying it. There's a lot of different things that are going to happen. Like, periodically, you'll be in an area where you have to, you know, just, you know, loot, and you can leave at any time you want. Other times, like I said, there's going to be this kind of siege that happens where you just have to try to survive. And even then, there's another kind of thing that'll happen periodically where you have to either find an item or you need to, you know, get from point A to point B. And again, you know, oftentimes not fighting is kind of key when it comes to this, because you really don't want people to die if you're trying to make it any further. As you know, like, events happen, people's morale will go up or go down depending on the outcome. Not to mention, they can include and level up their skills as well. There's also this cool thing called Zombo points, and you can use those to kind of level up your units after the game in this, like, kind of, like, unlock setting, which is kind of neat. So you can kind of, you know, set things up for success and, you know, kind of help yourself out a little bit. So one of my favorite parts is just some of the random units you're going to find along the way. I had a blast when I set it to, you know, like, just kind of rare characters, because honestly, I think it's just funny seeing some of the people that they'll put with you. There's tons and tons of references you're going to find in this game, and it just kind of creates something just kind of absolutely crazy. I very, very much highly suggest making your own characters. Hopefully you recognize a few from this video, especially when I'm doing my customer and creator section. There's just some cool stuff you can do. But anyways, guys, this is Death Road to Canada. I've had a blast with it. It will be out $14.99 on April 25th on Xbox One. I'll be streaming it sometime this week. I know that. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys check it out. Right now we are on twitch.tv/XBLA fans. Hope you guys enjoy the video, and later.